Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we are here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue. And every week we bring you some adoptable pets waiting at the animal shelter for their new home. And our first guest is Finnegan. And Finnegan is between 6 and 7 months old, and he came to us as a stray. He's a little bit shy, so likes people though. So being in a new place, Randy's got to give him lots of encouragement that nothing bad's going to happen. And he said he's making biscuits, so he's comfortable. But one of the things about stray kittens is if they approach a person outside, then that person assumes they have a family and looks around for their owner. And then if they can't find their owner, brings them to us in hopes that we're going to find that person. And with stray cats, very sadly, a very small percentage of the time does that happen. So we wait 5 days and look for the owner, check our lost reports, which we get many every week, and then we offer the pet for adoption if we cannot find the owner. So Finnegan is very young and will be able to adapt to all kinds of situations, has beautiful black and white markings, and is going to make someone a great pet. And we're going to show you this morning quite a few very young cats, because between April and October we get over 1,000 tiny kittens, and we are going to need to make room for them in order to save as many of them as we possibly can this year, as we endeavor to do every season with the help of our foster care providers. And so we would very much like to get these 6 and 7 month old kittens homes now, so that they won't have the competition of the tiny kittens. People are very likely to choose a small kitten for a pet as much as they are to choose a mature cat, but these teenagers are caught in the middle. So today we're going to bring you several, and hopefully we will find good matches for them so that they can, he's drooling. Yeah, very cute. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but cats that like to be handled by people and feel good when they're being petted sometimes drool. And Finnegan is drooling. So it's just one of the things that would be included in assessing the behavior of a cat for likelihood of being a great pet, is that he's getting so much out of being on Randy's lap and being handled that he feels good enough to drool. I know it sounds silly, but it's just one of the things that now he's chattering his teeth. So one of the things that we look for in cats that want to be pets. There are obviously a number of cats who don't choose that life, and it is a challenge to make room for them in our world. Finnegan is going to fit right in. Our next guest is Bilbo, and Bilbo is 8 to 10 months old, so about 2 months older than Finnegan, and he is a gray tabby, and he is also a little shy. And what you can't see off camera is our front door opens and closes and people come in and out of the hallway. So for cats that are a little nervous, they don't know that all that traffic's not coming this way. So he is checking things out. And you will find when you come to the shelter that we color code our cats green, orange, and blue for their activity level and temperament. That can help you choose. And I would say that Bilbo is an adventurous one, and I think he would really like to jump off Randy's lap and run around this room. So it's a matter of time how long we can have him here for your viewing pleasure. But Randy's very good at this and convincing cats that there's nothing dangerous and that it won't be too boring to sit here for a couple minutes. And Bilbo also came to us as a stray. So this time of year, the kittens that were born in the spring that didn't make their way into someone's home by, generous neighbors taking them in, are turning up, and people are realizing that he made it through the winter somehow. So whether he was living with his mom and some family, or whether someone took him in and then he got away from them, we just don't know. So I would remind people to please put identification on your cats. Please call us if you know of a cat that goes missing. And if you own a cat that you can't find, come into the shelter sooner rather than later so that you can find them. Certainly, if you are looking for a pet cat, think about coming here and checking out all of the available kittens and cats. Our next guest is Carrie, my favorite all-black kitties, and you will be surprised to know that she is actually a little bit older than Finnegan and Bilbo. She is about 10 months old, and she's pretty tiny. We have already spayed her, so her adoption process will be pretty quick. If you have your landlord's permission or own your own property and you're ready for a kitten, then you'll come in and meet her. And if you have other pets, we'll make sure they're up to date on their rabies shot, and then we can schedule an interview and you can take her home. One of the questions that people sometimes ask is exactly that. What is involved in adopting a cat? And that's how simple it is. There is an adoption fee to reimburse all of you taxpayers for the part of your tax monies that go to the county that fund the shelter. And so an adoption fee for a kitten like this is $97.50. And $97.50 is nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of money, almost $100. But it includes spaying and neutering, microchipping, a checkup and a rabies shot at the participating vet of your choice here in Frederick. And it includes any medications or shots that we give her, which we start them all in their series before you take her home. And all of our cats and kittens are litter trained and used to getting in and out of their carrier. And as I said earlier, we color code them so you can tell if they're more energetic, more lap cat, more suspicious, or more confident, so that you can have the kind of cat you feel most comfortable with. So this little kitten also came to us as a stray. And the next two cats that you're going to meet were given to us by people that we know something about them. And so, as I said before, this time of year, the kittens that mothers had kittens outside with no support from humans, and the kittens that were not taken in by kind people or brought to the shelter when they were tiny are now here as teenagers with, it's a little bit of a shock for a kitten to be walking down the street in the neighborhood where his mother birthed him and to be put into a carrier and dropped off here in a kennel. So they have a lot to think about. And then Randy pops them into their little car seat bus and brings them into a strange room with some lady who is talking nonstop. And we learn a lot about them while they're in the shelter, handling them and seeing what they are interested in. Now, she is color code green, as Randy just pointed out, and green means that they don't seem to have a lot of experience with people. So Randy's being very patient with her and moving slowly, and she's very appreciative of that. That's all really that cats are domesticated animals. They, over the eons, have come to depend on living near cities and towns. They take care of rodents, we take care of them. And oh, look at her. She's closing her eyes. So she's letting Randy know that she actually really, really likes people. She just needs somebody that doesn't seem dangerous. And over the years, Randy's gotten really good at not seeming dangerous to kittens. Now she's making biscuits, so what a sweetie. And we've named her Carrie, but certainly you can change her name to anything that you might like. And hopefully, it'll mean oh, she's really sweet. It'll mean something to you, her name will. But kittens don't care as long as they learn what sounds you make so that they could come and get affection or food or whatever you are offering. And our next guest is Bridget. And you can hardly tell the difference at first glance between her and Carrie, but if you were to pick them up, they're quite different. They're very close in age. They're both about 10 to 12 months old, but Bridget is tiny. And chances are, if we are right about her age, which we judge with the help of our veterinarian, and we go by the wear and tear on her teeth and her skeletal structure, she's also trembling a little bit because she's nervous, that she is always going to be tiny. So some people, that becomes one of the aspects that helps them decide about which cat to adopt, anything unique or something that draws you to her. As you can see, she is hunkered down, and that is because, you know, my voice and a strange room, but Randy's making her feel pretty comfortable. So hopefully she'll understand in short order. There's no danger here. And one of the things to think about when you adopt a cat is that cats, unlike humans, are not apex predators. And what that means is that there are as many animals who might try to eat them as there are animals they might try to eat. So they live in a different kind of world than we do. They're always worried, is it a trick? Is it a trap? So when they go to new places, they just need a little extra encouragement to make big transitions. And there are people who don't like change, but cats definitely have an affinity for those people and feel understood by those people because they have a very good reason not to like change. It's a little dangerous to change things around, go into new territory. So Bridget is wisely, just like her namesake, she is wisely taking her time, feeling out the new space to see if this is a safe place to be. So when you are choosing an adoptable cat, it's a good idea to pick one that complements your own personality and that you feel you can understand, and one that can understand you. Our next guest is Jigsy. And Jigsy was born on February 1st of 2010. So he is now in the shelter looking for a new home. He was given up to us by his family. He also drools when he's sitting on someone's lap and being pet. He's a beautiful brown tabby, classic tabby. And as you can see, he's full grown since he is 4. This is the potential size of any of the kittens that you saw. Well, maybe not Bridget. I don't think she'll ever be that big. So he has cute little white feet, if that is attractive to you. It's so funny the way that we choose dogs or cats as pets. It's usually some tiny unique thing like one white toe or, you know, beautiful long whiskers, but we always encourage you to care more about the personality and activity level of the pet. And sometimes it can be hard to see what that's like here in a cage. So we encourage you to come in and ask us to take them out so you can pet them and spend time with them, bring all your family members to see if they have a connection with a new pet, and then go home and talk about it, think about it until you know which one is right for you. And Jigsy is definitely got a history that we can share with you, unlike the other kitties who came to us as strays. Now, Bridget didn't come to us directly as a stray, but the people who found her kept her for a few weeks and then brought her in. So, but Jigsy has a history, he had a family, and so he's got lots of experience doing all the things that people expect their cats to do. So if you have seen a pet, one of the cats, this segment that you would like to know more about, there are several things you can do. Come to 1832 Rosemont and meet them all. See what you think. Or you could go to petfinder.com and take a picture and profile of one of these guys, print it and share it. Or you can find some link to that Petfinder profile when you are looking it up and share it on social networking. Anything you can do to help us get the word out really helps. And you can check out our Facebook page and talk to Randy. You can email me at dculp@frederickcountymd.gov if you have any questions. We are going to take a short break, and we're going to be back with more adoptable pets at your animal shelter.
The original Frederick County, Maryland seal, dating back to the mid to late 1800s, depicted an unclothed farmer holding a spiked tooth harrow and a single shovel plow. In 1957, a former Roads Board engineer was asked to create a new decal for offices and office doors. He used a worn-out stamp of the original seal that was found in the old county courthouse and worked with the National Decalcomania Corporation in Philadelphia to design a modernized version to emphasize agriculture and agribusiness, industrial development, and the historical character of Frederick County. This design was approved on May 15, 1957. In 1986, the Board of County Commissioners directed the Planning Department to revise the seal and make it more environmentally friendly by removing smoke from the smokestacks. The board adopted a revised version of the seal in late 1986, showing the county's founding date of 1748, stars representing the original 13 colonies, the scenic Catoctin Mountains, the jug at the original jug bridge at the Monocacy River, an industrial building in the distance to show support of economic development, and in the forefront, a farmer sitting on sacks of agricultural products representing the county's dedication to the farming community. This seal is currently the official seal of Frederick County and may be seen on letterhead in county offices and public meeting rooms, as well as on the internet and on the county website and social media sites. For more information about the history of the Frederick County seal, visit www.frederickcountymd.gov/county seal.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
We are back with Cody, and Cody is an American Pit Bull Terrier or part American Staffordshire Bull Terrier. They are a smaller, like tank-like version of American Pit Bull Terriers. And he is all black. His fur does look a little bit of chocolate. That's just from sun effect, but it's quite pretty. And he is surprisingly only 6 months old. So he's about 2/3 of his adult size. He's not going to get a lot taller, but he's going to get, you know, bigger and chunkier. Oh, look at that. He likes that. And the people who brought him to us only had him for 3 months. So they got him as a little baby, and they realized that puppies are so much work. And at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, we spend a lot of time placing our puppies. We only get 300 a year, which is great for us. It's hard for you guys because it means that if you really want a puppy, there are a lot of good sources other than the shelter you might have to seek out because we have so few. I know 300 sounds like a lot, but there are more than 300 families in Frederick who would like to get one. And so we take 4 applications and try to make the best match so that they don't get returned at any higher than the rate that puppies nationally get returned. And we have pretty much succeeded at that, and we're happy to say so. But we cannot say enough about what it takes to raise up a puppy, be ready. This guy is a sweetie and perfectly normal puppy, but lots of energy, lots of strength, and he's smart. So he's going to need somebody who has ideas about how he can spend his time. You are handsome.
Cody.
We are back with Gogo, and Gogo, as you can plainly see, is a purebred German Shepherd dog. And she is a petite dog. She has a tattoo, which means that if you were interested, you could find out who her parents are. If you are into German Shepherd lineage and whatnot, she is has great experience, has been with people for 7 years, which means that she knows all kinds of things that if you got a puppy, the puppy would never know. As you can see, she sits when you ask her to. She is good on the leash. And a lot of people that have always wanted a German Shepherd are interested in finding out more about them. And I highly recommend coming to the shelter and meeting her. She is very typical of what everyone would dream of if they had a German Shepherd. But German Shepherds are not the dog for anyone. For one, they shed twice a year, and you just need to be considerate of that and understand that's going to be part of your life. And for two, they really need stuff to do during the day. So if you have a schedule where you work 8 hours a day plus your commute time, then think about the purpose of a German Shepherd is to work alongside a person for long shifts, and they really, really want that. So if you are a busy working person, it can be hard to accommodate any dog, but especially a sporting or working dog that is bred to be with a person they take direction from. There are a lot of breeds of dogs that are bred to work independently, sight hounds and livestock guards. So it's something to consider, the purpose for which your dog was bred. But as we said before with pit bulls, every dog is an individual. They all have the complete range of behaviors that dogs can offer. And if those behaviors are trained and reinforced, then you can help your dog adapt to your life. And Gogo is no exception. We are back with Goldilocks, and Goldilocks also came to us as a stray. And she is between 1 and 2 years old. She's quite young. She might be part Cocker Spaniel. I suspect she's part Chow or Shar-Pei because she has the blue markings on her tongue. Now, it is true that a purebred German Shepherd or a purebred Golden Retriever can have a purple marks on their tongue. So the idea that it's a guarantee that she's part Chow is not true. However, because of her coloring and the shape of her face and her stature, it is likely that she's at least part Chow. And then that makes calling her other parts, Golden Retriever or Cocker Spaniel, less likely because most of what she looks like can be explained by her part Chow. Anyway, none of that matters. It's just that research has shown that looking at a dog and guessing her breed is very, very unreliable. Add to that, as we've been saying all morning, that something on my shoe is interesting, that every dog has all of the behaviors that dogs have if you train and reinforce it. So not only is breed guessing unreliable, but it's not that helpful. You have to meet the dog, see what she's like, see what she's interested in. For example, she's not that interested in food from a stranger. So it tells you something about her. She's smart and doesn't take easily, she's not easily bought, we'll say that. So her fur's really soft, and she is, her panting, it's not that hot in here, so her panting is an indication that she's just a little bit nervous. And if she, in a few minutes, goes ahead and eats the treat, then that means that she has settled down a little bit, realizing that we're not dangerous, and this room isn't the vet, and that she's going to be able to figure out what goes on next by taking in some information. So if you are interested in Goldilocks, we believe she's already been spayed, so she was someone's pet. And the other thing to consider is that if you know someone who's missing a dog, please, please tell them to call in a lost report and come to the shelter as often as they possibly can, because while 70% of our lost dogs do get reclaimed, that means 30% don't. And we never know if it's because people didn't want them for some reason, or something happened to the people, or that they just never found their dog. So if you think that Goldilocks would make a good match for you or someone that you know, then please let us know. We are back with Clover and Shamrock. And these red-eared slider turtles are available for adoption. And turtles are very affectionate and friendly. A lot of people don't know that. They make very fun pets. The big part of setting up for a turtle, though, is these turtles need to spend a little bit of time in the water, but they need to be able to get out every day and sun themselves. So setting up a habitat for them is a little involved. But once you do, if you put a filter on it and manage that, then it takes care of itself. You need to clean the water a lot, but that is probably the hardest part about getting turtles, is the initial setup. Oftentimes people don't know that water turtles need to come out every day, And they need full sunlight, so these turtles have been in captivity all their lives, we believe, because they're kind of fat and they're very friendly and comfortable with handling. So they could never be released to the wild. So if you set up some kind of indoor-outdoor enclosure, it would have to be escape-proof, predator-proof, but it would allow them to get full sunshine. If you want to keep them indoors, you can set up a nice terrarium for them, but you have to make sure that they have ultraviolet light, full spectrum light, to keep their shells healthy. And you could contact a reptile rescue to get the full scoop on all the things you need for these ladies. They are female red-eared sliders, and there are several ways you can tell. One is by the shape of their shell, one is by the length of their front toenails, and the other is by the opening in their tail. They are not excellent climbers, but they can, like a tank, get over obstacles pretty well. So one of the ways people usually set up their terrarium is with bunches of rocks that they can haul out on for some sun time. And as you can see, they're pretty comfortable around strangers and on different surfaces. So they actually can move a lot faster than you are seeing right now. And what you see on their towel is some kale and some pieces of fruit. They are partial vegetarians. Later in life, they will eat worms. And these turtles both, luckily, eat prepared turtle pellets, so it's pretty easy to feed them. If you are interested in getting into turtles, then definitely recommend talk to some experts before you do. They are cute and fun, and you just need to know a little bit about arranging their habitat. So thanks for joining us today, and if you have seen any animals that spark your interest in learning more, give us a call. Come down to the shelter, ask about volunteering or fostering, and see what you think about the animals that we have. And even if you are not prepared to adopt right now, you can always share this link at the bottom of your screen with other people. And also consider, I'm sorry, watching the turtles, they're fun to watch. And you can help us get the word out about the shelter and about animals available in many, many ways. And we appreciate you joining us each week and hope we see you next time.
This is a Frederick County special report. The great city of Frederick is one of many facing a grave and dire threat.
Golly gee willikers!
You said it, mister. Every day, the average American generates 4.5 pounds of waste. These vast amounts of refuge threaten to clog our waterways, overflow our landfills, and bring harm to our wildlife.
Well, what can we do to help reduce our waste?
Recycling. Place your recyclables in the bin. Then place on the carbon collection day. It's just that easy.
I want to know more.
More information is available at www.learnmorerecyclebetter.com. You can make tomorrow a better and cleaner place.